Good morning, everyone. Today is March 25th, 2022. I'm jumping into the future. And I want to say thank you, everyone, for your support. And also thank everybody for last night, your patience. I do apologize. I had to cancel class. It seems like we were having internet connectivity issues. I know that when in next month, after the 9th or so, that shouldn't be an issue anymore because I'm changing our situation, internet connections and stuff like that. So, but I do apologize. The morning classes shouldn't have any problems with the internet connection, and that's one of the classes right now. So, hope you guys are having a great morning. Let's say a quick prayer. Lord, please help us for today. Open up our minds and our eyes, especially to see things we never saw before. I pray that you would help us with this class, and I also pray that you would help us with our internet and make sure everything just goes really smooth today. Help us on every step of the way. We love you. We bless you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. All right. So, moment. All right. So I just muted. You guys can unmute at any time. House, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to mute you at the right time. We're just getting some feedback, so I just muted everybody. But you guys can unmute anytime you need to. Interrupt me to ask a question if you want to. Good morning. Good morning, CJ. Good morning, House, April, Beatrix. Wonderful. We got Beatrix visiting from South America. She usually watches the reruns, but she's in a group this morning. Great. Josiah, good to see Mark. And Superfood, as always, Philip, and our good friend Josiah. So let's do it in reverse. We're going to look at the markets, and then we're going to go over some basics, or we'll look at a few markets, starting with UST.D and XRP. I want to keep our eyes on those two. So let's take a look at those real quick, and then we're going to go into our basics lesson for today. It's not the full module, but it's going to be some of the basic refreshers of our tools. So let's do that today for this recording. All right. ETN. Yep, we got ETN. Today we're going to be looking at EOS, AVAX, Link, ETN, ENJ, Solo. But let's look at some of these markets real quick. USDT.D, we are here. And this is really, really good. Okay, what does this mean for us in the markets? Well, this means that we have entered into health. By us being able to close past here, this is really good for us. Okay, how good? Well, it's pretty good, because what this allows us to do is it allows us to start looking and moving down in a more significant way until we get to the bottom of our next behavior, which is, if it happens today, it's going to be 401. If it happens tomorrow, it's going to be 4.00. We need to clear this now. We now need to clear this bottom area, and after that, I really have a strong feeling that we're gonna get all the way down to 360. We shouldn't have so much trouble here on this blue line, but I really believe we're gonna be getting down to 360. From there, we're gonna be able to get down to around 326 area. Let me extend this line out real quick. One moment. Is this locked? Shouldn't be. 1 second. All right, there we go. Let's go back into our chart. All right, so the next line after that is going to be around the 324 range, and then after that it's going to be this one, 288. So we're going to be looking at some of these levels in the future. I would love to have that, but we need to have those behaviors. So we're going to be examining all the way as price is falling to these different zones we should be able to clear to these areas as it breaks through further and further. We do need breakthrough and 3 separate behaviors there. It is possible we are coming up to our first area where we could bounce, and one of the likely cases in this area, one of the likely scenarios, now that we've cleared here, is we can be looking for USDT to bounce here on this white line. Okay. We can also be looking for price to pop up again, but it now definitely needs a behavior. Behavior is needed because it's already shown the weakness. Now this weakness is good weakness because when this chart goes up, your cryptos start falling. Your cryptos always act in inverse. Your cryptos are going to be looking more something like this. Okay, and if you've noticed, a lot of cryptos in the market actually look like the inverted version. They actually looked almost just like this. A lot of them. So you can always invert if you want to by clicking on your settings and clicking on Invert Scale. And that might help you. Okay, when it goes up, cryptos will go up, and when this goes down, cryptos will go down. I leave it normal because I've been teaching it the opposite for so long. So let's just keep leaving it. But remember, when this chart goes down, your cryptos go up. So we want to see that, and it looks like it's a good day. Yesterday, getting that close below there. We now have 11 hours left in the next candle. We want to stay below here significantly, especially if we get a nice round move on the sword cut. If we get a nice round, that means you can go down really good. Okay. Let's draw one more like that. It would be really ideal for us to get a nice round bounce down like that, because then we can come straight down. All right, let's take these photos for you guys to have some of my new and updated map points. All right, let's take our larger picture. And update the date. We'll just jump on XRP real quick, and we will be covering all the other cryptos in just a moment, but after our basics lesson. Okay, and XRP. Should be the second one right here. All right. XRP is looking good, looking healthy. Now we're building strength on top of this older sword cut we had. Okay, this is an older sword cut. But this is where price is starting to build. That's really good. We are still looking for prices to boom or possibly round back down and for the pump. And this is good because if we do round back down, now you're safe because you got this, you can have this nice arc going on. So that would be really good and get you some last moment price time to buy at 79 cents. Might be good for some people. A few more days before going, but it could also go up. And the reason is because we already have some good structure, good round structure in the background at key points. Okay, coming off of kissing an older sword cut, very healthy, but did not come down and build right on there. We just came down and kissed the sword cut, rounding up, breaking through an older sword cut. We shouldn't be scared of this area because we've been penetrating on both sides. We did get a little stuck here, but again, we showed that this line is not as strong as we think, so therefore it's ready to pump and break through it, pop up. I'm excited about this. They should get us some prices closer to $1 XRP, and this is also around the season. We should be expecting the settlement information almost anytime. Almost anytime. Some of the Intel community has had riddles that point to end of March, beginning of April for a while now, almost 2 years. But we keep an eye on that month, and you guys should too. They can announce any moment, especially every day. More and more stuff is coming out about the case that that the SEC couldn't win. It's almost impossible for them to win, and there's a lot of stuff, like they hired settlement lawyers and everything like that on both sides. So be ready, okay? Everyone should be ready just in case something happens. Okay, your X. All right, here we go. Let's look and update that date. Oh, it's updated. All right, let's do our basic lesson. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just practice with tools. I'm gonna pull up a random crypto. Let's spin the wheel just to give you guys a random crypto.
Jay, Josiah has a question before you get much further.
Oh, let me see. Let me turn on my chat. I found a key angle for BTC at -5 or -6 degrees, initially between the tops of February top and okay. Let me write that down. Key angle -5 or 6 degrees, initially between tops and top February 10th and March 2nd. It also seems to be verifying places earlier in 2021. Could it hold back the current pump? We will look at BTC and in just a moment, and then we will. But I want to spend a half an hour going over the cryptos, and we'll do that. Okay, so let's just use something from my watch list. VET. How about VET? Okay, and we'll use this as health has come into VET as well. A lot of health is coming into almost every market, so that's good. But let's just pick a spot here in this sky, and we're going to just practice our tools. All right, so welcome to our tool basics. I'm just going to use this probably in a filming, but here we go. This is your tool area here, and this app is called TradingView. This is the app that we use, TradingView, right here. A lot of everyone in this group already has TradingView. It is free to use. You guys, I do have a paid version. If you are using it on a desktop or a PC, and you're using TradingView, you're going to be charged. Or no, you won't be charged, but you're going to see a lot of ads popping up almost every few minutes unless you buy it and are using the paid version. Okay. Now you can click on the tools here, and we're going to just practice for just a few moments doing some things with our tools. Okay, the first tools that we want to do is we want to make sure you always add your favorite tools to your top here. I'm going to take off my screen and my picture so you guys can see this completely. One moment. All right, here we go. So here's my favorite tools, and again, you can get to the screen by clicking down here on the little pencil icon looking thing. All right, click on there, and then you're going to click on Trendline. Okay, hold on the first one, which is Trendlines, and add to your favorites. And let's start with that one. When it's in your favorites, it'll be here. I like the iOS version on an iPad. It's great. A tablet should also look the same. All right, so on a trend line, let's just practice a few things. I want to show you guys this for everyone wanting to know how to draw, and so they can follow along. But to draw, you just click anywhere on the screen and you begin to move a line, and you can change the angle by moving your hand up and down like that. Okay, now I'm going to pull back on my screen so you can see me. All right. So you can move your lines up and down anywhere, forward or backwards. When a line is put on the screen and if you want to move it again, you can move your mouse to the line and click on it. Okay, when you click on your line, hold it down click in your mouse button, and then you can scroll up on the actual line and move it anywhere around. So if I made this sharp angle like this, I can actually just move the line the same angle. If I make it like this sharp angle, I can just move it straight up and down in the same angle. On actual price, VET, it would look like this. So let's just change real quick to a 1 hour chart so you guys can see. Right? So say this was a 5-minute chart, and I'm examining this area. I would go to my trend line, and then I would draw a line connecting these 2 points here. And if I wanted to make it like and run a type of key angle analysis, just say I was running that key angle analysis, I would click on the line, just click on it, and then you just, if you're an iPad, just swipe your finger up and down while the line is selected. You'll know it's selected because there's 2 dots that appear, one on here and one on here, and generally those dots should be blue. Okay. Remember also, guys, to always click on your settings button here in the right hand corner. Click on settings, click on logarithmic, and also click on countdown to bar close. I also have unit selected. Countdown to bar close just gives you a timer, how long until the current candle closes, which is often important. Okay, so now that you have a line, you can always move it around at different spaces. We're going to now duplicate that line, okay? Because once you have a line going on, you can click on your line, and you are going to have this menu pop up. There's 6 dots right here in the left hand corner. You can click those dots and move things around just like that by clicking on that and move it around somewhere off to the side. It's always going to show up in the same spot of your screen every time. So if I was clicking on this line, it's going to show up in that same spot where I last put it. Okay. This might be a good point to let you guys know when trying to navigate around price. There's going to be 2 points. You can put a mouse here on this side of the screen, click in. Again, you're right clicking with this button with the mouse. You'll click in, and then you can push up and down and squeeze and pinch your charts. You want to pinch your chart so that you have everything in view. Okay. Then you can also click on the center of the chart itself and move things to the left. Okay. To the chart. All I'm doing is clicking somewhere here, pushing in, moving to the left, to the right, moving up, moving down. The other place that you can click on is this bottom area here. All right there where my mouse is showing you guys. Click anywhere right there in this where the dates are. Click anywhere, push in, again using the same part of your mouse right here. And then you can pull and pinch without moving around. This side stays the same. It like locks in place, this wall, but you can stretch it out and pull it in. All right, you can pinch things so you can't see it. Don't do that. Don't stretch it out too far that you can't see your data, but you want to push it just enough so that you can see what's important in your world in your right view. Right now this is really high, so I would want to click somewhere here in the middle, scroll down, and then I want to stretch it up. So I'm going to come to the side right here and stretch it up. Then I want to bring it back in. I might want to move it around. And this is how you push and pull. Okay. We want to remember these things when navigating so that things can look smooth for you when you're drawing. All right. Now let's get back into some of our other lines. So now that we were seeing a lot of energy from here and here, we might want to run like a type of key angle analysis. This isn't that, but I just want to show you guys quickly some things we can do with our lines and how to bend and push and pull. So this is the first, again, part of that tutorial. Let's continue. Click on your line here. And then what you're going to do is we can do a few things with our line. When we click on our line, click the button, that menu that popped up here, let's examine. The first part we see on that menu is a color, is a tool, it looks like a pencil that you can draw, and that's, you click on that and that's going to give you a section of colors. All right, you won't see these at the bottom, but you can add some of your favorites by clicking the plus button here and then choosing the color. Okay, if you wanted to, you can click on add. Alternately, click on it again and just say you always use this white color right here on the top. So you click on that white one and you can click on add. It'll show this white in the upper left hand corner. Click on add, and now it's going to be, if you click on the button again, that special white will show up here at the bottom. Okay. I have this green selected, plus you can click add if you want to, and that's how you add your colors. Let's see, oops. If you hit a line and you accidentally hit delete or delete your line, you can just click Command Z on a Mac and undo. Okay. If I delete it, Command Z brings it right back. Command Z is redo. Alternately, you can click the redo button right there, which is the undo button. Yeah, okay. All right. If you go too far and you undelete something, you can go forward by clicking that button and go back to your current lines. All right. So now we clicked on the line. Let's give it a white color. The next things we can do is click on this thickness line right here, where it says 3px. Yours may say something else. Click on that one, and this is where you can make it really thin by clicking 1px, a medium thickness by clicking 2, clicking 3 to make a larger, and even 4 to click a even greater larger. And that's how you can make various widths. Generally, I try to save the larger widths for my most important lines, or sometimes for a very high level chart. Generally, I draw in 2 and 3s. The reason I draw a lot of 4 and 3s here in this class is they look really good for you guys all to see it. But if it was me personally, when I was not hosting classes, I would just use a lot of 1s, 2s, and 3s and 4s for my daily, weekly, and monthly charts. But only the most powerful stuff. But generally, a 2 thickness is good enough for me. All right. The next things you're going to do is let's go on and take a look at our line style. So this is our line style button, and it's next to here, and you click on line style, and what you're going to do is it gives you the choice between a dotted line, a dashed line. This is dashed, where it's just like, you know, lines that move like that. That is dashed, and these are fun type of lines. And I use these sometimes to represent a mid phantom. I used to use them always for wicks when I was drawing wicks, but in Sort 2.0, I discovered that it's not as important to differentiate between wicks once you have key angle analysis running. So if you're running a key angle analysis, you'll put your key angles at various sectors, and once you start getting a rhythm for it, it may not matter if it's a wick or not. Okay, that's something that you just need to bear aware. When you see a dash, it often always means a mid phantom. And this also works for parabolics, which I'll show you how to move around again as well. Now, the next one we're going to do is we're going to look at dotted. Now, I use dotted for a few things. I use certain dotted colors when it comes time for a projection. So if I have a certain projection and I believe that price is going to hit here, if it is a projection that I've run, you're going to see me run it like purple. It'll look like this magenta color. Okay, so again, you can click on your line, click on your colors, click on magenta, and there my magenta one will show up. Okay, I'll usually give this a price label, and this is a good time to mention price labels. Price labels are found in annotation and under price label. Just click on price label. All right. When you go to your area, move your crosshairs up to your area and then click on there. Make sure you turn off your your button that you placed on so you don't continue putting multiple price labels all over the place. Command Z, Command Z. Click on the button and it'll turn it off. Okay. Same with trend lines. If you don't turn that off, you'll keep drawing. So once you place it, come back down, turn it off. But that gives me that. Same with price labels. You can also change your colors here. Go to your settings. Go to your color wheel, which is next to the text button. It's the color fill option, and you can change your color. And this is gonna change the feel, which is the center. I like to sometimes change mine to white and have black text by changing the color, or leave it as black and then come here now to the text, and that's how you can change your color if you wanted to change your text. Now, generally I leave my text alone, but if you wanted to, that's how you change it. But the easiest things I do to differentiate my color labels is I go to settings here, and then I go to border. Click on border, click on your color. This time we're gonna choose again magenta and make a matching set. So when I quickly see that there's a magenta price label, my eyes will say, hey, perhaps there I have ran a projection analysis. And if we run a projection analysis, this is really good because what will happen is you'll have a price target sometime in the future at that price level. For example, if I was running my key angle analysis and all we had was here, and then I click on this line, we duplicated that line up here, it may point to right here. So, which is the next parts we're gonna cover. So after that, let's go back into our original line and finish that part. So we're going to click on our line. Then we have these buttons here. This one is an alert, and this is how you can set a price alert for a certain line. I don't deal with that too much in our class, but you guys can, and it can send you a push notification if you want to. You can give the alert a name like price target reached, and you can give yourself an alert. You can even put it when the condition if price crosses the line. You can click it, cross, and click create. Alert trigger may trigger different than what you expected. This is because at the moment calculations are based on a linear scale, not logarithmic. So this is saying that TradingView has not fixed their alerts for logarithmic views. You can click I understand or got it, continue anyway, if you wanted to do that. Now, again, I don't worry so much about alerts. I just try to watch the ones I'm watching, but you guys can, if you want to. That might be very wise to do. You can give the alert only once per bar close, once per bar minute. You can really give yourself your alerts, okay? Logarithmic alerts are, the reason logarithmic word alerts are different is because price is defaulted to standard view, which is the view through whatever currency you are. But logarithmic brings everything into proportion, the past and the future. And that's very important in the future. So we'll talk about that another time. For right now, let's just continue on why this is important. Now, the next things is a lock. Okay, so that's if you're a person that's always moving your lines accidentally. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Command Z, or you're having to hit the undo button. Lock your line. Click that button, and then it's locked, and no longer can you move it. You can't do anything about it. When you click on the line, it's not gonna delete right away because it's gonna show that it's locked. Okay? I don't need to unlock, but you guys can if you want to. And then finally, delete. Click the delete, and that's how you can delete. So you can individually delete lines. Alternately, you can just click on the line itself and click the delete button. Oh, this is on my iPad. Delete button. Okay. So mine's using this tablet right here. I mean on my iPad. Click delete, and your line should delete. Well, and why did mine delete? Oh, there it goes. Didn't push it away. All right. So let's now go into our clone and some of our other tools. So let's click on our line. We're going to now click on these 3 dots here. These 3 dots are going to give us a little bit of bonus menu. Click on there. And the first one we have is visual order, which is important. Okay. Visual order is where you set price in front of you or behind you, or where your drawings are in relationship to price action. So if I have this book and I have this, if I'm looking at them, they're both the same. But I can change the visual order, moving the book to the back and moving this one in front. So if I'm looking at them, the first one I'm going to see is this, whatever's in front of me, my remote in this example. I can alternately move my book in front, but then I can't see my remote because my remote is bigger. Okay, so this is visual order. Okay, and when you have a lot of drawings, this starts becoming important. One of the easiest solutions you can do to just not worry so much about that is click on price itself. Click somewhere on price, and you're going to see a lot of blue dots show up all over price. And then you're going to see in the upper left-hand corner these 3 dots here. Click on those 3 dots one more time, and then you're going to click on visual order. Same way. This time you're going to click it. It's going to give you 4 options. You can bring it to the front, you can send it to the back, you can bring it forward 1, or you can send it backward 1. But I always click on bring to front, and it pulls price in front of you. So now that price is in front of you, and you can always see what's price going on. When you're drawing sword cuts and everything, it will become very important, because then you won't be able to see what price is doing. And people get frustrated because they can't see where they're drawing. And you don't want to have that problem. It's easy to avoid. Click on price, click on the 3 dots, click on visual order, click on bring to front. Mine's is already checked, so I don't have to click it anymore. You can alternately click on your lines, click on the 3 dots, click on visual order, and send your lines back. And so now my line is behind price. So if I were to move this line through this red dot, through this candle right here, you can actually see really up close that the lines are behind price. You can see the candle. Now if I move on the line, it'll show what the line is, but otherwise the line will disappear as it's behind price. Okay, you like that? All right, let's continue. All right, now the next one that we have for your line is clicking on the 3 dots and click on clone. Clone is how we can duplicate, and it's one of the ways we use for key angle analysis in SOAR 2.0, which is one of the meats of Core 2.0. You click on your line, again click on the 3 dots, click on visual order, click on clone, the word clone, and it creates a duplicate line just above that current line. From here, you just click anywhere in the center of the line. Do not click on the little dots here, otherwise you'll move that and you won't be doing it right. No, don't do that. Click in anywhere in the center of the line, and this is when you click anywhere in the line and then hold down your mouse. You're going to click it in, hold down your mouse, and you're going to move it up. Okay, this one's especially for my good friend Yuri, who had this specific question. How do we do that? Okay, this is how you can move it, holding it in, and all I'm doing is just holding your mouse in, and you can do it to the left. Now I'm not really using this mouse, I'm actually using this mouse right on my tablet, okay, just so you guys know. But you can click on your mouse and you can move it to the left and to the right, and move it up, move it down. Also, for those of you guys who have done key analysis with me, looking for key angles before, you do not need to worry about moving it to the left and to the right in key angle analysis, because the angle is still the same angle whether it's to the left or to the right, because it moves along its axis. So if I was bringing up this key angle to the top of this wick, it doesn't matter if it's here or here, it's going to be the same. As long as it's on that axis, it can move along a track. Okay, it does matter with parabolics, but that's a little bit advanced. We will do that when it comes to it. But I just want to let you guys know it doesn't matter if it's to the left or to the right. That line is that line, okay? So in this example, if this was our bottom and we moved our key angle analysis, if this was a key angle or you guys wanted to just test it out and you're searching for your verifications, bring it to the top of your energy centers. You're looking for price to respond to this line. When it responds to that line, you know you have verification. And this is where you'll see me draw with like a little V or something like that. That means there's verification in the past. And that this is the floor, and you'll look for changes of behavior here and changes of behavior along that line. So if we knew that this line would be here and we had other evidences to support that we should be getting up there, we would put our projection somewhere along those lines. Okay. Generally, I'm looking for other things to give me a projection, but for right now, that's good enough. All right. Let's do a few more important lines, and that's basically how you clone lines. Okay, so we went over how you can click on line, how you can change your color of your line. We showed how you can change it from dotted to dash to line. I also want to mention that I use my dotted lines. If you see me have a line that looks like light blue, this teal color, that means it's a prophetic line. That means that somebody somewhere, we might have had some intel that price would reach a certain point. So sometimes I'll have those on my price per points. I have something like that on ETN at a lower level. I also have my map, and when you see my map showing me that data suggesting we're going down and we're going to that area, and you have prophetic intel at those same areas, look, when you're looking at my maps, look for those dotted blue lines, and now you know how to create them. You can do a thickness of 4. If you do a thickness of 1 on a dotted line, you can barely see it. Okay. And I use that when specifically going over a 1 hour chart. You'll see me put like a white dotted line so that I know that if I see a little dotted line and it's a thickness of 1, it's something like a 4 hour chart, something not as important, but something maybe prevalent or important for that day or specifically that week. Because I do a lot of top-down views and I do them for lots of people, so I'm generally not going over 1 hour charts so much. Okay, but every now and then I'll draw some lines for me personally, a lot of times, and then but I'll just draw them as thin dotted so that I'm not confusing my daily analysis with my 1 hour analysis. And that's very important because you have to go in order. I made a mistake the other day when we were looking at XRP for an opportunity, and as I was reading all the consolidation for that day, I did not look at a simple 4 hour chart. I went right from a daily to a 2 hour chart, and that's incorrect. You need to go from monthly to the weekly, weekly to the daily, daily to an 8 hour if you have it, 8 hour to a 4 hour. If you don't have 8 hour, just go right to a 4 hour, and a 4 hour to a 2, and then 2 to a 1. So I skipped over both the 4 and the 2 hour. And that's what you can miss easy things in front of you guys. Don't miss something easy. Okay, it's always the bigger fish principle. The bigger fish always eats the little fish, and the little fish is always the big one in the pond until he meets the bigger fish. All right. So that's something you guys can use if you guys are looking at your map and you see this thin line and you say, "Ooh, this is an important line," and it could be very minimal. It could be not important at all. So make sure that you guys differentiate some of your more 1 hour chart lines that you're doing in your private times with the bigger lines. All right. Now let's continue. We're almost done with our last of our lines. We need to just a few more moments. Let's continue over some of the other tools. Now that you know how to run your toolbox for your lines, let's draw a few more lines. Click on Tools. Click on Geometric Shapes and go to Rectangle. Hold it down, add to your favorites by clicking that button right there. When it's in your favorites, you can always just pop up a rectangle. And here's what you do with the rectangle. Again, just click a rectangle down anywhere, and we're just going to start here with a big rectangle. Okay. Let's delete these lines here. Oh, I forgot to let you guys know. How do you fade away a line before we continue? Click on your line click on your line, and then you're going to click on color, and then you're going to go to opacity right here at the bottom. And here's how you fade away your line. So sometimes you'll start seeing me fade away a line, and that means it's losing its potency, or it's something that's just not important at the moment. I want to have it on my chart, but I don't want to have my eyes drawn to it. So therefore I will take the opacity and I'll bring down the opacity so that my eyes can barely see it. Out of sight, out of mind. It helps you clear your mind and look at price objectionally rather than being forced to look at it a certain way every time. You want to look at your lines and do that. It does give you the option to hide your lines here, but you don't need to hide them individually. Just turn down your opacity. If you want to hide your lines, all of your lines, then simply go to your tool again, and at the very top, go to the slide and just slide this up to the left, and you click on hide, and that hides all of your lines. The moment you start drawing again, if you drew a new trend line, it'll bring all of your lines back. Alternately, you can click on your tool and go to hide again. But that's how you can use some of these tools. Let's go into this that rectangle again. Okay, so when we're drawing rectangles, this is what I often use for sword cuts that are thick, and you can draw these rectangles. If you do not turn it off, you'll continue drawing more and more. So you need to come down to the bottom to turn this off. It's blue, that's how you know it's on. Click it so it turns white and you know it's not on. Now, there's a few things about these, so this is going to be very interesting. So if we click on a line, or one of our rectangles, click in the center of the rectangle, we're going to start with how we adjust our rectangle. So this is really easy. When you click on a rectangle, it's going to give you that box. Again, you can click on this side of the box to move that around. Okay. Mine's, if you're using a tablet, my mouse doesn't do it, but my finger does. And I can move it around everywhere as I'm moving my hand around the screen. Okay. But right now, I want to go over the dots. Now these dots let you do a few things. The first most important one is that there's 3 dots here. 1, 2, 3. If you click on the middle dot, it's just going to keep it along the track, and it's just going to move it left and right. So again, I'm just clicking that middle dot, and that's how you move it left and right. That's how you stretch it out without changing your width. If you do want to change your width, you have 2 ways you can do it. You can click on this top dot, and it just moves that side, and everything else comes the same way. Up and down, up and down. Same with the bottom one, moving up and down. But then you always have to find the middle area. You don't always have to do that. You can also use this bottom corner, but you got to be careful, because when you move the bottom, you move the whole, these 2 sides, this side and that side. Okay, so sometimes you can change the width, and you have to be really careful. But that's how you can do that. Alternately, you can move the upper corner, and it does the same thing. It keeps the opposite corner in place and moves those 2. So this one keeps this corner in place. Okay, and it moves everything else. Likewise, you can flip it around, but that's how you move those. Generally, you want to try to move the top one here if you're just trying to stay really accurate. Okay, you'll often see me. I'm a little more seasoned, so I'll just use the corners often. But when it's time to stretch, I use that middle one. All right, now let's go into, if you click on your color here. There's 2 places you can color. The first thing you can do is color the border. So if I wanted this border white, now I change the color and I'm just changing the border. I can also have no border by reducing the opacity all the way, or bring up the opacity, and I can have a border color. All right, so if you like, if you're in the political camp of like Biden, you guys don't care about borders, then go ahead and turn them up. Okay. I could say that. I'm from Arizona, the border town. Not the border town, but okay. If you don't want borders, do that. Now, I like to sometimes keep a little bit light border. Somebody's laughing. Next, let's go to we're gonna click on this button here, the color fill, and that's the filling of our center. So we're gonna choose orange, okay? For a sword cut, it's a default. I choose orange, not the fire orange. I use those for fire lines, but this orange right there is the one I use. All right. And then likewise, click on your color fill and then look at your opacity. Bring it up to your final full color. As a sword cut weakens, you'll see me fade it away and just fade it away like I taught you guys earlier. Okay, that's how you fade it away. And if you don't like orange, if that hurts your feelings, you can feel it with a different color if you want. When sword cut has multiple verifications and it gives me the strong indicator that it will, if price is coming from the bottom, I think that price will, that sword cut is very strong, and I think it may have a higher chance of rejecting, bouncing, like the sword cut for Bitcoin, where it's been rejected for months. I usually turn my sword cut a green, okay, generally a darker green, but you can use any green you want. Likewise, if price is coming from the bottom and it's a very important sword cut with multiple sword cuts matching that area, or multiple verifications, or multiple analysis, I should say, I'll turn it red. Okay. If your sword cuts are covering price, you can, and if it's covering price, make sure that your price is, again, visual order in the front, or click on the individual sword cut, click on the 3 dots and click on visual order, bring to send to back, and that pushes my sword cut behind stuff. Alternately, you can use that for price labels. So if you can't see your price label anymore, okay, because your sword cut's in the way, visual order, bring to front, I can't see the price anymore because it's in the front. I can either push my sword cut back, or my drawings back, or I can try to find that price label, click on the price label, the 3 dots, visual order, bring to front, and now I'm pulling this in front. So now I can quickly see the price labels even with my cuts on. All right, so that's something you guys can do with that. Now remember your settings, because whatever your settings you do, every time you draw a new line, it may do that. So if you fade your trend lines all the way, just say I faded away all the way, then I go to draw another trend line, well, guess what? I'm not going to be able to see my trend line. I'm going to be like, where's my trend line? I can't see it. And the reason you can't see it is because you faded it away too much. Bring it back in, you'll be able to see it. That does happen with people. Okay? And just remember your settings, because it will remember your last settings. Okay, when drawing sword cuts for the first time, generally I draw them bright orange. All right, over time they will fade away. Then that's how you should draw those. Okay, the last line we're gonna focus on today is how to push and bend and pull our parabolic line. Where to put them, guys? This is just how to draw and how to navigate. Okay, so let's delete some of these lines here. Now let's draw our parabolic. We're going to click on the parabolic tool right here, our tool again. This time we're going to move into our curve tool, which is found in trend lines. Actually, it's not in trend lines. I do apologize. It's going to be in geometric shapes, and you're looking for curve. Again, that's geometric shapes. Go to curve, hold it down, add to your favorites. Now, when you do that, it works the same way, just like the other ones. Click on a line anywhere, click anywhere, and just move it to the area where you want it to be. Okay, it's going to give you 3 dots, a dot here, a dot here, and a dot here. With those 3 dots, you can again change your thickness. You can make it dashed, you can make it solid, and I generally first draw my parabolics in yellow. If I need to draw subsequent or overlapping parabolics, I'll change it to this teal color. I mean the sky blue, baby blue or sky blue. The actual word is cyan. Okay, so say I was drawing a parabolic. Now, if I want to move that parabolic, I can click the, generally I'm going to not move this top. I'm going to put that in the spot where it should generally go. Okay, generally. If I was just putting it right there, that's not where it goes, but then I would put the end somewhere over here. And then the first, that's how you kind of move around these edges. Okay, if I click anywhere else here, you can move around the whole line, and that's good. Okay, that's how you can move around your parabolic. But you can move your parabolics and also move the middle line. So this is the next area we're going to draw. You're going to put and push and pull your middle line. Okay, and that's how you move the belly of the line. Okay, you can move it to the left, you can move it to the right, and this is how I try to encompass a lot of the lines that are going on. So say I see this, you know, like price is curving here, you know, I might want to try to encompass what's going on with a curve or something. Now when you drawing a curve, you may have to repeatedly adjust your middle and adjust your ends, but generally when I'm trying to connect some dots, I'm going to move the middle. I'm going to move the middle quite a bit and the dots. And with parabolics, remember to always try to make your end, if you stretch it out, balance to your front. Everything should be flowing. So if it's a really sharp turn, you want to continue it to be sharp. Okay, you want it to really be sharp, you know, but that's not how you would draw it. But you want to keep things very, very balanced for you when connecting some of your lines. Okay. All right. Let's use a real life example, and then we'll move on. So if I was moving to these points here and my eyes were seeing something like this, normally on its own, that's how the curve would be. This would be very incorrect. This would need to be moved and balanced to the front. But when you move it, it moves the middle. So move the middle again and then continue adjusting. Okay, this needs to match the front. Okay, this needs to match. It should generally most often look like a mirror. There are definitely exceptions to this rule. Okay, but generally the flow should have like a mirror type effect. Okay, and then you're going to see more verifications for your zones. Alternately, you guys can remember to click on your line, click on your clone, not alternately, but in addition. But these ones, remember guys, when drawing parabolics, move them straight up and down, because if you do not move them straight up and down, keep your fingers steady when you do this. If you do not bring them straight up and down, you will greatly alter your angle, and that's because you're dealing with multiple angles. If I move this here, you're going to have a completely different verification than your original. Okay, it's going to be a very, very different line, and you want to make sure that you have your angle correct. Okay, keep it the same way so you can get the most verification if you were drawing that. And then you're also going to move them at tops and bottoms. Remember, straight up and down at the top, both at chords and wicks. Look to see where you get the most and strongest verification. So here in this quick example, seeing this segment and flowing such as this, if you drew that and you duplicate it at the highs, as long as you drew your line correctly, I'm no longer adjusting these angles. I'm not adjusting that. No. I'm not doing that. I'm taking this the same exact line, clone by clicking the three dots, clone, bring it straight up in the air, and that's how we can find these points. Now again, this was just a 1 hour analysis. This was that same line that we did in the beginning. Okay. Now if I saw multiple lines pointing to this area and I had a reason that we were going up, I may want to put that target there, 495, you know, at 0.049 cents VET. And that's kind of how you can start seeing those areas. So we could see, well, if this is the top, if we're in this range, price may come up to here, and likewise the bottom may still be here. But again, that's just how you duplicate and clone and move your lines. If I were to move this angle really far to the left, then guess what? That line is much higher now. Okay, and that's therefore incorrect because price didn't go this high. That would be like this one being deleted. And the reason that doesn't work is because I'm now moving this so far off to the left. These need to be in alignment together. Okay, so if I were to draw a straight line here, they need to be on the same line, like this, straight up and down. Therefore, that's how you get correct. Okay. We can also, now if we were doing a mid-phantom, mid-phantoms are always 50%. They're halfway between these two. You can easily also clone this, and this is the last part of this. Click on your 3 lines, click on clone, move it straight down in the middle, about halfway, and then click on your line, style, click on dashed, and there you go. Okay. You're looking for verification in the past, price to react to those points multiple times. If you have them both on the tops and bottoms, that's great because then you know it's a place to look for, and also look for the change of behaviors in those areas. Okay, that could be something. Here we have way in the future prices reacting to this middle line area here. Okay. And that's what we'll finish for today. So today we're just going over toolbox for that and in this part. So I'm grateful you guys watch this and getting this toolbox refresher. We'll have more of these, and probably even this very video in the modules, but I'll break it up into smaller little portions. Okay, so thank you guys, and I'll be right back. We're gonna go over price action now. Jason, this is a very good tutorial. Always learn something new. Can't wait for the iPad to come in and really learn this stuff. Yes, Superfood, he's got an iPad on his way. Thanks, Jason. You're a chap, says Yuri. Oh, Yuri, you're in the group. Great, wonderful, fantastic. All right, so let's go into yours says very good, very true, Superfood. Guys, just as another tutorial, when you guys make tea, don't leave your tea bag in there too long. It gets really intense. That's your tea tutorial. All right. Now, let's go over some price action and see what's going on. Since we're in VET, we might as well look at VET real quick. Delete those lines. Where is VET? VET looking really good. Good position of health. Let me delete some of these lines and price labels. All right, so we finally broke into health. And this is really nice. This is good looking. We last looked at VET on January 31st. Where was that at? Way back here. Right here. Way back here. So this is really nice. Price came down to touch our line here on February 24th. This is really good. That's why I love the sword method, guys. I really love the sword method. You get a lot of verification. You don't have to draw multiple lines. If you do them once correctly, in some of your most important lines, generally they should be good for months, at least weeks, because the past doesn't change that much, right? So we had price came down to this line. We did not cross below into these weaknesses over here underneath the line. So we'll now, actually we don't need to. We'll just leave this here at the bottom. The still no weakness area is down here at these prices. Let's get you some price labels for that. We did cross over here. We are going to now draw a sword cut. New sword cut needs to be drawn. So let's go ahead and draw it using what we learned today. We're going to click on our tool, click on rectangle. And we're going to draw a rectangle where this line crosses through price is where a sword cut is created. Because price crossed over here significantly, especially, we're going to draw it here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to click it somewhere here and draw that rectangle out. When we have that, we're going to adjust the height. The height of the sword cut is where the line first enters price. And you can either move that middle one here to make it so that it is adjusted correctly. And let's move this visual order. Let's send this to the back. Okay, good. And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to click on our you can also use these corners here, which I like to use. The bottom of the width is where price exits. So it's like a bullet. It comes through here and then it enters here, or a sword that cuts through right here and it exits the body of the candles here. And therefore, that's where we are going to stretch it out to the very bottom here, and we're going to stretch it out where it first enters, which is a little bit higher. All right, there you go. And that's how you have a width. Does that make 2 price points? Yes, it does. It actually makes one on top. Let's click on our settings, change the border to our sword cut color, the orange. And it also makes one on bottom. You don't have to draw both price labels, but it's something to be aware of. Sword cuts act like a range. So now we would be seeing if VET got a big pullback and it was a nice round one, we'd definitely be looking for price to skyrocket or really bounce from there. So this is something that we can happen. Okay, but we would want to see that rounding alternately. Price can just go right to the top. Those are the 2 actions that are in these areas. We're not just looking for random behavior, we're looking for this specific behavior or continue up with the markets. All right, I'll mute everybody. If you guys want to unmute, you guys can unmute.
How much money's on the table, Jay?
How much money's on the table? That's a good question. Prices for VET is at 5 cents up to 0.09 cents. So I'm sorry, well, let's look at the bottom of this older sword cut up here. 0.09 cents. So currently 5 to 9, about 4 cents. Or that's like 50% gain, 40% gain. But is it really the proper structure? That's something I'm going to ask myself right now. I didn't even mean to look at VET, but since we're covering VET, might as well. VET structure, it does have this nice round structure, but this area is not anywhere significant that I can see. I'm gonna turn off my lines real quick. I'm gonna look on the weekly chart. Okay, I don't believe that this we may do, let's run using core to core. Let's run the last angle analysis. Let's see what's going on using, it's like a key angle analysis. Here we go. Looking at our last angle, taking that angle at the lowest cores. That's good. Okay, here we go. That's significant. All right, so this could act like a floor. I would definitely be looking for new behaviors above here at these prices up here. We're going to definitely look for that. But the other things, let's look at mid phantom. You have mid phantom verifications here, but no respect here, no respect here. I wouldn't worry about mid phantom so much. This may be not as important. Okay. It would be looking good for price then to come up. Let's see some other things for VET. Because there's a lot of crypto in the market that's going to be strong at these levels. No, I wouldn't use that at all. Yeah, just based on its own structure, I wouldn't take the trade any more farther than here, and then I would get out. If you guys were in there, I would make sure you get out from at those levels, which those levels are going to be around 11 cents. I need to re-examine my.
Like 100%.
Yeah, that would be like 100%. But I need to examine. I had a sword cut on here, so let's turn back on my lines. What was the sword cut from here? Where did it come from? BET Gen 31st star. Where did that sword cut come from? Let me run that because I need to see the strength of that line. Somewhere over here I drew it. Why did I draw that cut here? Sometimes when I've drawn lines months ago, I may miss my first analysis. I do apologize. I may not remember where I did. I've learned to trust my analysis from old, even if I don't remember exactly why. I've learned to just leave my lines on. I drew this as a very thick range. Let's take a look at the monthly chart real quick. Getting closer to the truth. Okay, I'm gonna delete some of these lines real quick, or fade some of these lines away, so you guys are not so confused. I've run multiple analysis on VET over the past year. Let's delete some of these, just rerun them again. All right, some of the more important lines for VET to be aware. This is on a monthly chart, VET, running wick to wick. This would be significant. This would not. That was something at that month. We were, okay, but this one would be significant. Okay, so I'm gonna show you where it is. Here it is. The lowest point here, we're gonna draw that like a solid this time. I'm gonna make it real thick so everyone can see it. This line here, let's draw it now in red. On a monthly chart, back in March 1st of 2020 to November 1st of 2020, big swing. As a foundational area, you had verification in the month of January 2020 when price sat on it again. Okay, price crossed over that line through this candle. The thing I didn't do correct is that the entrance is exactly where it should be, but the top is not as thick. So we're gonna lower that top. It should only be that thick right there where this line exits this body of this candle, and there is the sword cut. So this is something I would not, even though you have potential to hit this top roof here, you also have a stronger fish, which is the monthly fish, that can use this as its resistant area. So I would just wait till you clear those areas and clear this area. So where these two come together is where I would take the second trade. Okay, so if this was like this, should be like that, right? I would just be taking the trade in these areas. Okay, once you're in this zone here, that's where I would be looking for that secondary behavior. And then we can take it to the previous highs. I wonder if I had some projections here at 298 VET and also $12. and 59-cent VET, running previous analysis, projection analysis, and some of my other videos with VET. Probably in dive. I do tag every dive video, so if you guys are looking for a specific crypto, type it in and you can see all the videos. At the end of every video, I put a little tag of every crypto that I covered in that video. I also keep a running notes of the video of the cryptos we're covering during class. All right, so if that's correct then, which it is, you're going to go now back down to your daily chart. And I wouldn't trick, I would definitely now put more weight on this one. Let's bring it in. Bringing up the opacity. So yes, I would not take the trade past 9, but I would possibly want to be taking that trade. I won't issue it as a buy because I would need further confirmation. I don't really like this round. It's like more of a funny round. But if it was a nice round in this area, I might do it, or a nice bull. But because I have either, it's just like this W shape right here, and we haven't had the pullback yet, I would not want to just, if it was me personally, I wouldn't buy it. But people who are already in VET, you're going to have a high chance of going up to 0.9, especially because the market is with you. Okay, so I wouldn't exactly sell if you're already in VET, but if it was just me, I like more safer trades. I like good strong structure. I don't want to just go up because we're like a fair weather fan and the market's going up. I don't want to just trade like that. I want to trade based on its own structure. But at the moment, VT is very significant. March 25th. Let's make sure we add it to our watch list as well. I'll put a big W. All right. So I want that rounding. Get me that rounding back down, pullback. And we'll buy some VET at 5 cents, sell at 9. Price points, I'm just gonna put exits at 0.09. It's really close to the line, 0.915. I don't like trading that close. I would get out at probably 0.084 or 0.0884. Significantly below or somewhere below the line. Don't trade all the way up to your sword cut. Leave a margin of error. You understand? Leave a margin of error. Always. For your own sake, for exchanges and things like that. All right, let's look into some of the other cryptos. I'm going to get caught up on the chat, see what I missed real quick. I think that's all I missed in the chat. All right. Ooh, we're coming up on time. I better go quick. Spent a lot of time with my tutorial today. Let's go over some of these ones that we were looking at. Let's look at ETN. We're going to look at some of our more important ones. Let's do Bitcoin first. Bitcoin's more important. Bitcoin. Oh, that's an older Bitcoin map. The old one. That's my, here we go. Here's my Bitcoin map. All right, Bitcoin. Woo! It got the breakout that we needed right there. Good health. So now we can might be able to make a YouTube video about this one now. BTC health. All right, so health has came into Bitcoin. We don't have proper structure, and I don't like this consolidation. I don't like this round, so I'm not going to say like we should be buying Bitcoin, but Bitcoin now has the highest chances of going up to its targets. Either it's going to hit this target first and have another behavior, which is around, if it happens next week or so, April 2nd, it's going to be 49,926. Above that, it would hit, I believe, 55. Now, when you see me draw a white box, that generally means there's a target. It doesn't mean to buy like that's a wise trade, but it just means that I personally have a high degree of chance that it's going to be hitting that specific line. It could be, and here's what I have to do for everybody, because you guys will really hold me to it. I put it as a range, okay? Something like that. I do it as a range, and the reason I do it as a range is so that you guys understand that I'm looking for a price to hit a certain price level rather than just a little spot. If it's a spot, sometimes I'll circle it. But a lot of times if I don't like to circle price because I generally just want to bring attention to a certain behavior that will happen at those. So when I'm doing targets, look for a box. If you see a white box, that generally means I have my own target. That price is going to hit there. All right. You guys will see those from time to time. Okay. So I do have a target on Bitcoin. Everything in this video is not financial investment or trading advice of any. Please remember that, guys. Health has come in. This H right here means health. Okay, that means that this is the area of health. All right, hold on one moment. Okay, let's take a picture. Oh, nope, we're gonna update the date. I don't want to owe Michelle another XRP. 25th. That's the new rule, Michelle. I have to exit the chart. Okay. And if I didn't change the date, then you get an XRP. Okay, BTC. Okay, VET.
Wow, he's changing the rules.
Yeah, I gotta save some money. No, no, it shouldn't be.
No, you can't change the rules.
Yeah, because I catch it before I catch it. That's like, come on. That's like me. That's like I took the test, right? I'm writing the test. I'm walking to the teacher's desk. I'm running to the teacher. Before I took the picture, but that's not me handing it over because I said, whoa, I'm not turning it in yet. I'm saying, whoa, hold on. I forgot my name.
No, he's seeing the prices go up. That's what it is. It's costing him money. He's moving the goalposts.
Yeah, well, hey.
He's running around the football.
Do you want to look?
See, the team is on my side, Jason.
Okay, look. Do you want to play the game or do you not? Right? I'm the game show host. I get to. All right. You want the game?
Jason is Bob Barker, man.
I want to do the putting myself first. All right, let's quickly go through some of these other cryptos. Let's go through ETN. Man, I said I was going to do a lot.
Jason, big question.
Yeah, what's up? Who's this?
Can you
Yuri?
go back to BTC once? Just
Just like. Can I go back to BTC? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you told me you told me that you had a trend line and you designed it as a key eagle. Now is that a straight or is that a parabolic?
It is a straight. So from what I've drawn in my chart so far, I'm like looking at two possibilities that might keep prices down. One is with the purple line that you had. It's kind of a horizontal line that is currently in 45 in the 45K range.
Okay, is it this purple? Is it this purple line?
No, the other one that's horizontal.
Okay. Oh, up here. Oh, horizontal, flat line.
Yeah, it's right like crossing each other.
Oh, okay. And you said February 10th. I remember, and that was 10th of 2021 or 2020.
22.
Okay.
I mean, like,
All right.
the first one is the horizontal line that you have at 45K, around 45K. If you could extend that. And the second one is what I mentioned about the key angles.
Okay. So let's give that a special color. Let's make it this red color right here. All right. So we extend it out. All right. Now you ran you're saying right now that you've examined this, right? And if you were to move this to certain places, well, right now you're right. You're right. That's something we should be aware of. Price has responded.
Yeah, this is one thing. The second is the key angle that I was talking about.
Okay.
I was initially trying to draw if I could, find some other lines that could keep price down. And like I mentioned, if you try to connect the tops between 2nd of March and 10th of February, like the previous 2 forms, it kind of gives you a slight angle. and I tried to move that around, and it, price was kind of responding. So I was wondering if you could show that, and it might be a possibility that price could respond back again.
Do me a favor. Do you got my email?
Yep.
I want you to shoot it to my email, and we may be able to take a look at it at the end of the class. Okay?
Sure.
I want to see it. Okay? And I'll see which one you're talking about. You can even, if you draw a little bit on it, I can see where it's at, or if it's the only line, I'll be able to see it. Okay? It might be something definitely worth bringing attention to the whole group. All right. Oh, also, guys, yeah, no problem. I want to see it. Thank you. This is the old green trend line that I've had for months and months and months. Not trend line, a sword cut. And when I do draw it green, it means I had multiple analysis at that point, having strong indication that price would act like a support, and it has. It took a long month, right? Look, what is this? January 2022, February, March, April, but price has built some good structure on it. A lot of congestion, but you have the breakout now, so that's good. It's possible we can hit 45 again, challenge here, or we can just have the break above. So this is something we're going to look at. Let's draw that one. And thank you for bringing attention to that line, the 45 line. God bless you for that. We want to continue that 45 line. Okay. Price responding.
Jason?
Yes, sir.
How's the volume for BTC? Because I'm just curious to see if...
I hate reading the volume on BTC. It's always all over the place. But let's take a look.
That's true. It is all over the place.
Yeah, I believe that there's a lot of manipulation just on that one.
Correct.
But let's try and see anything that we might be of specifics.
So my thing is that I seen it going up, BTC going up, but I don't see the volume on why it would go up.
There was a comment I heard on YouTube about how something like 1 in 4 Bitcoin is the only ones on the exchange or something. It sounds like people are taking it off the exchanges. So
Yeah, that's true. 1 out of 4?
I think that's what they said.
Oh wow.
Yeah, a lot of BTC haven't taken off exchanges.
So that's only going to tighten up the price, and hopefully there's going to be a pop.
So when reading a little bit of the volume spread analysis going on here, as price is coming down to these last moments, you can see that here on March 13th, the volume is one of the lowest that it's ever been on a down bar in those same areas where we had the same even smaller prices with much more significant volume. Here, this massive down bar into these ranges with above average volume. This is the average, that line. But now we came down to this support where there's no more volume on the down bars, and then we do have the up bar with the significant volume. So this is telling us that the supply in these areas, as prices nearing this down bar areas, you can see the volume was here, then we come down to here, the volume was a little bit less, and then finally we come back down to that same area one more time, and the volume's almost basically dried up. We have ultra low volume on the down bar. So that tells you that the supply is dried up and it's ready for a markup. That's generally what that means. Wyckoff taught that in his volume spread analysis. They have a great course, Trade Guider. I'm not affiliated with them, but they have a great teaching on teaching people how to read the relationship between volume and price, called volume spread analysis, or the study of VSA. So look that up, VSA. It's a great great help. They got some good books as well. All right. The next things we could see is an ultra high up bar on this up bar with verification. So prices didn't just go up to this line and have a response back down. You actually got significant closes above here, so that tells you that the market was indeed ready. You don't generally like to see ultra high volume on as prices going already high, because that could be a really big warning sign. But when you start seeing candles still close and making closes above those on normal volume, that's a good sign that this in the past was health, and so that's a really good thing. And then right now we're just trading just average above. I don't really like the average line with Bitcoin because it's almost all over the place, so it's more harder to get an average. But you can just look to see what are your lowest ones or what are your highest ones, and in relationship to those. So I like this volume as it is right now, and it's normal. It seems like it should be as it should be.
Jason, since you're talking about volume, did you happen to chance get Prophet Robbins talking last night?
No, I didn't. I didn't watch it. My internet was real poor.
I found it very peculiar, so I wrote it down word for word so you could listen to what he said here. He said he's talking about Shiba Inu, and here's this quote.
Okay.
They would lower their market cap. That would bring up their value of the currency. And that didn't make any sense to me. But also,
yeah.
I remember. Also, I keep in mind that he's not a crypto guy.
Yeah. He doesn't trade crypto. At this moment, the Lord still hasn't put it on his heart or allowed it to do it. He's trying to just stay a pure vessel during these days. But I believe the days will come when he will be able to trade. So the Lord speaks to him with in the ways that he can understand as best he can. It's very possible that they're going to do something like a coin burn. And that's just the best way that maybe the Lord explained to him. Like, for example, deleting the zeros could draw and bring up and drum up some new interest in Bitcoin and Shiba, because there's just so many zeros. So they'll do it in such a way that it's easy. It's something like a stock split for stocks, and how that works, like, and how that they split, the prices come down, but they still split. But it often brings a good pump and more interest, and it makes things cheaper for everyone, but it still is the same amount at the moment per the investors. So if they do something like deleting the zeros on Shiba, which they've talked about, I've heard a lot of rumors about that, they would decrease that. It tightens up the supply and creates more opportunity for them to go up. So that might be what he kind of means by decreasing the market cap and how much is available. Lower the supply, increase the demand. You can increase the price of something by the basic laws of supply and demand. So maybe that's what he means. That's my thoughts. I don't know.
I agree on the burning side of what you're talking about, because that is what that's what they're really pushing hard for.
Yeah.
When I heard that, I kind of got the idea that it was going to happen in July, but that was just some thought that popped in my head as soon as you said that.
Well, let's put that on our radar, because it could be the Lord sharing with you, Mark, and just giving you a heads up. You can feel that impression in your spirit. Just pray about it. He doesn't have a lot of timing on his cryptos. He said, even one of his videos, he said, I'll refer you guys to Jason. He doesn't always say that, but he did one video, and I was like, woohoo, shout out to me. But yeah, we specialized with Sword Method 2.0 of identifying timings, but we also listen to prophetic community. So that's really great to combine the two, right? Look at it.
My understanding, Jason, is Vitalik is still in the board as a board member for Shiba.
Mm-hmm.
That's my understanding.
Who is a board member?
Vitalik, the guy from the CEO from Ethereum.
Oh.
That's my understanding, and I don't know if they're gonna be working together eventually, but something to keep an eye on.
Well, did you guys hear about what he was talking about, like a super doge and something like that in the coming days?
Yeah.
There, he said that in one of his latest prophecies, he said that there was going to be coins that would seem to go away. They're going to look like they're going to go away, but the truth is that they're going to be doing something like a coming together, and they're going to come back, and they're going to be able to come back even stronger without all the mist. He said he saw them burning in the fire, right? It's a lot of cryptos going burning in the fire. Well, if you look at some of the riddles from the Intel communities, the Ripple riddles and things like that, what do you see in the picture? There's a fireplace, and you see the coins being thrown into the fire. But sometimes things are purified in the fire. I wonder if some of these cryptos, because they don't maybe have their enough cap, they may need a, for example, like this. If an announcement is made that regulations need to come, but you're only going to need meet regulations if you meet a certain market cap, then you qualify. A simple announcement like that could get all these coins saying, hey, let's team up, let's team up, let's team up. And everybody starts finding a partner, right? Well, okay, let's make Shiba, let's make, and then you get all these coins, and then they have more of a market cap that can survive a coming regulation. If it was nefarious, they can even hide some of their more bad things that they may have done in the past with a lot of money. Same way that when you have a lot of money, these big conglomerates, they can survive slap on the wrist. They can also survive getting fully investigated because things are now complicated. I've seen such things. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised if either one of those scenarios is something on how a lot of these coins can survive. But you may see that people who have existing coins or are holding on to some of these altcoins, right, will have huge pumps when they're teamed up, right? Massive pumps. So he said that altcoins will do well when those things happen. And he gave a sign, but I can't remember. We'll have to talk about it after class. All right, let me go over some more real quick, and then because we're almost at time. BTC. Okay.
ETN, you were going to look at it.
Yeah, I was going to look at ETN. Let's see what's going on with ETN. Hold on, guys. It didn't seem to load my lines.
But Jason, don't forget how Vitalik is on the for Doge, not for Shiba.
Thank you. I feel they're not the only ones. For some reason, my lines on ETN are not loading. Let me check if I had another ETN. Give me 1 second, team. I'm going to look at one of my other older charts for my map on ETN. I'm not going to do a whole new build on ETN at the moment because we're out of time. And that wouldn't be wise anyway. Let me just look on my iPad. Sorry? Hobe. I'm looking at an old picture, one of my older maps, and it seems like I have my maps on Qcoin. So for ETN. So this is Qcoin. Okay, look, now it loads. It was just slow, maybe because I have a lot of lines. All right, so ETN, still nothing, guys. Still nothing. I mean, not nothing, but still weakness. Okay, so everybody remember, and this is, you guys do see, I have had this white box for quite some time. We came into this range in the old sword cut range, but we just came up bounced at that range, and then we're still bouncing on the underside of a major key angle. So your major key angle is this one up here. Okay, remember guys, I talk about this every time I talk about ETN. This angle, duplicate it, bring it out to the top of this energy center here, where we had this nice curve way back here. Bring it to the very top. Okay, and you're gonna start seeing that this is where prices react just a hair higher. Let me just adjust it real quick. Okay. All right. Now, you just duplicate that line, clone it out, and then also bring it out to the bottoms of tiers. I brought it to the bottom of this one and that one just as a range, more so to speak. I really believe ETN is not showing the strength it needs. ETN could round underneath here and come down to these areas. And this is a big warning. I would not trade ETN just because the market's up. You want to trade something that has its own structure. ETN does not have its own structure at the moment. You need to be trading healthy for ETN to really build itself. Okay. There are some straights you can draw from here, and there is some healthy, but I'm more concerned with the major overall picture of what's been happening. And you can also keep a look on your weekly chart, right? But at the moment, it looks like this. Okay, you got this roundness underneath here. You don't want to be trading there. Generally, we want to be trading above, and so I would like to be more taking these trades closer to these prices way up here around 9.93. We're gonna level off there. So let me go back down to our daily chart real quick, and remember to level off your parabolics. We'll talk about that in a parabolics module, but I just want you to remember, just don't curve out your parabolics to the top. When they start hitting the floor, you're not going to bring it up and curve it like a circle. You're just going to flatten it. Once it hits the bottom and starts curving, go to the bottom of that curve and just flatten it out. Okay, that's what you do with, that's the rule with these ones. There's always exceptions, guys, but generally you want to stick to the main fundamentals of some of these. That means that I really wouldn't want to be taking these trades until we get to these areas here. All right, I wouldn't want to take ATN trades until I'm past 008 and 009 for me, unless there was some good money to be made in this range here, possibly. But at the moment, I definitely don't want to be taking this trade. For me, I don't want to take it because of this. We shouldn't be trading like this. We shouldn't be stopping at this line. But the data points that we're going to, and that's exactly what's happening. So I'll leave that what it is alone. Okay.
Hey, son, what do you mean that you don't trade?
Sorry, your question cut off. What you said? What?
You said that you're not gonna take any trade at that certain point.
I'm
talking about because of you doing the shorting, or like if it's someone who just wants to buy the.
By trading, I mean like buying. If I was shorting.
Oh, buying. Okay.
Yeah, if I was shorting, that's a different story. I would short this. The reason I wouldn't short this is because the markets are not with the shorts right now. So go with the markets. Don't try to, fight against the wind, right? That's why I call them the market winds, USDT.D, alt perp, USDC.D. So this one is more structured so that price will come down. Generally, that's what should happen. It may not. The markets will be in favor going up, but because this is a week alone, the most that can happen with this one is it could drift. It could just hang out underneath here. It could go up and just go really slow, or it could go up. But if it goes up, I don't think it's going up because of its own structure. I think it's going up because everything else is going up, not because it's strong on its own. And I used the example of the Big Brother the other day, guys, and I really like that example. I'll use it in the modules. But remember, every little kid thinks he's the strongest. And, when he comes to the playground, when his big brother's behind him, right? And his big brother's an older classman, that little kid thinks he's so tough. But really, he's tough just because his brother's with him, right? And cryptos think they're strong because the market's with them. They're like, woo, yeah, look at me. And everybody's like, yeah, this is pumping. And they think they're the only one. But really, it's because the market's going up, not because it's strong itself. And therefore, if the market has a bad day, some of the weak ones have really bad days. And some of the ones that are they're not that strong on them, they just are feather weather. They'll go up and down with the whole market. So you want to, if the markets are going up, you also want to find a matching crypto with good solid structure that's also going up. Like right now, XRP, I think that was the one we looked at yesterday, which was, I issued a buy on it. What's that one? ANKR. Yeah, ANKR had good structure. Yeah, it has great structure. And what do you see ANKR doing today? Looks great. Looks fantastic. So
yeah, it's moved up pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, is there still a possibility it pull back slightly within zone going up? Yeah.
I didn't think so, but there's always a possibility, but right now we'll look at it one more time.
More likely it's going to run up to around the 9 mark. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a higher probability. You may get some trouble here. but it hasn't respected that line either way, so I don't think this line right here will be much problem. But if you wanted to know where it's at, it's here.
Oh, great analogy on that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And it's just great little things to remember, guys. One day when I make a book, you guys will see little stories like that. I once was learning these things. I just went to a bookstore one day. And you know why I go to a bookstore? Because I love being inspired. I don't even read the books a lot of times. I just sit in the bookstore and I think. And I don't know why. I love to do that in America. But I once sat in my bookstore and I started writing a story called The Merchant Samurai. And it's a story about a trader, because you learn a lot of lessons from the old trading merchants. And I just started seeing and thinking and considering price action and using a lot of physical analogies for some of the more important lessons that we got to remember in the markets. And I haven't released the book, but it's just like a story about a young merchant. And it's called The Merchant Samurai. And it was some of my inspiration for the sword method. And I did it about a couple years ago. Look real quick. Perhaps one day I'll finish it, but I needed some more material to put in there. But over the years, taking some of it. See? The Merchant Samurai by Jay Song. See? Once upon a time in a faraway land, there lived a famous samurai swordsman named Jin. And I start going over his story, and you can see some of my notes from the story. But I won't share that. One day it'll hopefully I'll release it. All right, let's update ANKR. Don't tell anybody. Shh. March 25th. BTC, we looked at ETN, we looked at ANKR. We're almost at time. I think we're overtime. Yeah, we're overtime. I'll look at one more since we're overtime. I want to look at ENJ because it was on my watch list last week.
Jay, the date.
Hold on.
Oh yeah.
Did I miss one? No.
3.
Yeah, no, that's right. Look.
It's not 2021.
Ah!
That's what happens when you change the rules, man.
24? Is that 24 for you? How many XRP is it? 24?
I think it's 23.
23. All right, look, we got 23.
But who's counting? Who's counting?
Well, I'm counting. She's counting. That's who's counting. Look, I have to retake the picture, delete the other picture. All right. I wanted to look at ENJ real quick because there was some structure on ENJ. I thought it was. Was it ENJ? Not structure, but health. March 16th. Let's look at where we were at on March 16th. March 16th, we were here. We got the breakout. ENJ, lots of health is coming to you. Okay, so we didn't get the best structure, but we got a lot of health. So that just has to stay on our watch list. Break above, it's almost coming to its price target. I wouldn't not want to take the trade anymore at the moment just because there's not much more price availability. But we did have our breakout and hit our top. Our next structures, we would want to be looking from here, a behavior, and then there. Okay, so I'm going to draw those next behaviors. ENJ star March 16th. (25th) 2022. ENJ is now close to its target. Look for further new behaviors. All right. So the next things we'd be looking, so we're almost at 1.76. That's what we're looking for. This needs to be yellow. Let's change that visible order, bring to front. I want this behavior next, behaviors above here and behaviors above here. Those two behaviors get you above those price levels. You should be able to hit there and there. And in a market where everything's going up, this may be something you may be looking for. And some good health. You get above there and that'll be great health. Okay. That's you know, it's pretty round. It's pretty round. If you get the breakout, this is a very good round. I would love to get that. So we have this big round. I would love to get that and then take the trades here. I might take the ENJ back into health. You may have problems at these two levels here, but get me above there and I'll take the trade all the way to 386. Nope. Let's put it in April. If it's April 2nd and it price did those, that would be around 395. So almost $4. Current price is $1.66. About a double. About a double. Okay. Some of you guys will be who are in ENJ. I wouldn't get out of ENJ at the moment, but I would probably exit at 176 and get back in because you're coming to the top. If the markets do well, they can push it through. The structure of this round is strong and it possibly would pop us through, but you're not guaranteed. So I would just take it in two trades, one trade and then another trade. Remember, everything in this video is not financial investment or trading advice of any kind. It's just entertainment, educational, and comedic purposes only. ENJ. All right, we're gonna look at Sol probably tomorrow morning. And Link, EOS, and AVAX, but I spent a lot of time today doing my other tutorials, so I do apologize. We are at time. At this moment, I'll invite everyone, if you guys are not a normal part of Dive, we do dives every week, all throughout the week. Monday, we have classes at 7 a.m. Lima time, 8 a.m. New York Standard Time, and that's going to be 8 a.m. on Monday, 8 a.m. on Friday, Saturday morning at 9 a.m. New York Standard Time, and that's 8 a.m. Lima. Then we also have private classes in the night on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, where these classes are called Dive, where we're studying price behavior, and also you get some of the teachings from the upcoming Sword Method 2.0 release that's coming up. So I want you guys to know that I pushed back the release date on there due to the filming and upload speeds on this Wi-Fi network, which is just absolutely terrible. And so I will be releasing more of those coming up in the new year, and you guys will get to be part of some of the filmings like we did today in that module. We'll release some of that as some of the module, but these are not the unit lessons we're going to be having. When we have our unit lessons, the requirement for the unit lesson is that you watch the module before, and then we have hands-on experience doing those things, and we're going to be on a Zoom type call, and I'm going to be using some of you guys as the guinea pigs for the full course that's going to be launched. So I look forward to that. And with that said, let's jump into our reading for today. We're going to read Proverbs chapter 6. I hope you guys can join me for Proverbs chapter 6. I look forward to it. Here it is. Melody's asleep. Proverbs chapter 6. I hope you guys join me for or stay with me while we just read through the word of God, and then I'll say a quick prayer for everyone, and you guys will be on your merry way. I'll be here after class if you guys want to chat about anything or questions for the group or anything. Let's turn my webcam back on. No, I'm sorry. Proverbs chapter 7. We did Proverbs chapter 6. We are on Proverbs chapter 7. Here it is. Here we go. My son, keep my words and lay up my commandments with thee. Keep my commandments and live, and my law as the apple of your eye. Bind them on your fingers, write them on the tablets of your heart. Say unto wisdom, you are my sister, and call understanding my kinsman, my kinswoman, that they may keep you from the strange woman and the stranger which flattereth with her words. Guys, always be aware of a flatterer. I had a flatterer in the Telegram group few months, last year sometime. And I remember that every time I heard this flatter, I was like, something's not right about this. You know, you be aware of people who flatter you too much. It's nice to give you a compliment, but there's people that just go out. And it's something to just be aware of. It turns out I was right. I was always like, something's wrong. This person's flattering me too much. I think they're a flatterer. And there was a time when XRP was going up, and I said I'm not buying. And she just went in the group and she just started yelling at me and saying all this bad stuff to everybody. And everybody's like, hey guys, J-Song, she's really bad mouthing and everything. I said, listen, I'm not buying XRP right now because I don't think this is the time. And there was a big push up in price that day. Price went up real high. And I was like, guys, I actually lowered my target. I put it on a low block. You guys remember I had videos about it and everything. And I lowered my price. And I said, I'm not going to buy until we get down there. Because I really think there's no reason for price to be pumping right now at this moment. And she was like, you're abandoning us and you're not buying XRP when we should. I'm like, listen, you guys can buy it if you want to. This is not financial investment or trade advice anyway. But I'm not buying until we get down there. And you know what happened? We went right to that target. And it took a couple months, but we went right to that target where I lowered my price. And then we started going up from there during those days. But beware of those flatterers, guys. Okay? Verse number 6. For at the window of my house, I looked through my casement. Check out this story. It's about adultery. From the window of my house, I looked through my casement, and beheld, among the simple ones, I discerned among the youths a young man void of understanding. Passing through the street near her corner, he went the way of her house. In the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark of night. And behold, there met him a woman with an attire of a harlot, and subtle of heart. She is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. Now is she without. Now in the streets she lies in wait at every corner. She caught him and kissed him. And with an impudent face she said unto him, I have peace offerings with me. This day have I paid my vows. Therefore came I forth to meet you. Diligently seeking your face, I have found you. I have decked my bed and my coverings of tapestry, and with carved works, with fine linen of Egypt. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh and aloes and cinnamon. Come, let us take our fill of love until morning. Let us solace ourselves with loves. For the good man, her husband, is not at home. He is gone on a long journey. He has taken a bag of money with him, and he will not come back until the day appointed. And with much fair speech she caused him to yield. With the flattering of her lips she forced him. And he goes after her straightway, as an ox goes to the slaughter, or as a fool to the correction of the stocks, till a dart strikes through his liver, or an arrow strikes through his liver, as a bird hastens out of a snare, and as a bird hastens into the snare, and he knows not that it is for his life. Hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children, and attend the words of my mouth. Let not your heart decline to her ways. Go not astray into her paths. For she cast down many wounded, yes, many strong men has she slain by her. Her house is the way to hell, and goes down to the chambers of death. There's a danger when it comes to getting ourselves into positions where we can find ourselves in sexual temptations, leading us down into adulterous ways with smooth words and butter. We find ourselves getting close to the house of the adulteress and finding ourselves becoming adulterers in the same way. We have to be careful of these type of temptations, because sin is fun for a season, but in the end is death. The Bible says there's a way that seems right unto a man, but there in the end is death thereof. There are temptations that lead us into the doorstep near sexual immorality. We get caught because it looks so good. I mean, the bed smells great, right? The aloes, the myrrhs, she looks good, she looks hot, he may look great, the situation it feels right. Don't go by your feelings. Don't go by your feelings. The Bible says that the heart is deceitful above all things. Who can trust it? The Bible says, for I know the heart of man, and it is exceedingly wicked all the time. So our heart can really lead us astray. And we got to be careful just by going after our feelings, because just because it feels good doesn't mean it's right in God's eyes. Amen. And with that, let's say a prayer. I'll say a closing prayer for everyone. Lord Jesus, we thank you for this day. We thank you for these moments. I thank you for this reading. I pray that you would help us always remember your words and keep them in the tablets of our hearts. I pray that you would help every person here to resist the temptation, including me. As the times of temptation come at various points of our lives, I pray that you would always just help us to stay away from those situations. As you said in the Word of God, as we call it, what we call the Lord's Prayer, lead me not into temptation, but deliver me from evil. So Lord, I pray that you would lead us not into temptation, but when the time of temptation comes, that we would not act the fool. We would not act like the youth devoid of understanding, that we would consider our ways carefully, and that we would be following you and following your spirit, following the ways of righteousness. The best ways to avoid temptation is to not enter into the temptation itself in the first place, to stay away from those things that cause us to fall, from the apps on our phone, Lord, from the times when we should not be on the internet, that people are tempted to go after pornography and the different things that we're tempted to. Lord, I pray that you would just keep us far from those things, keep us clean. Let us run to you as the author and finisher of our faith, the one that helps us in our time of need. I pray that we remember to call to you for help and ask your Spirit to give us strength and help to run away from those situations, Lord. I pray that we would not come near her house, the door of death. I pray these things that you would help them. And Lord, thank you for this reading. May you bless them. May you keep them, Lord. May you bless them mightily. Keep everyone here. Keep them in the shadow of your wings. Keep them in your covering. Be with every single one of them. Bless them and keep them. Make your face to shine upon them, Lord. Look upon them with favor. Be abounding to them with grace. Be gracious to these people, Father, these ones you love. Lift up your countenance towards them, God. Feel good about them. Smile upon them, Lord, and give them peace. In Jesus' name, we pray. Thank you, Lord, for everything. Thank you for these cryptos. Thank you for our maps that you show us and you help us. Thank you for all these ideas. Give every single one of them dreams, visions, prophetic. Lord, teach them, keep them, Lord, and speak to them individually about what they should be doing with their bags of money, with their holdings, and the things that are right for them, for their goals, for their finances. Help them, help us in our trading. Get involved in this because, Lord, we put you first. And we love you. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen. And that's my prayer for you guys. I'll be right back for after class. I'll end the recording. I will now cue the outro music.